Hey there, coin lovers, collectors, and treasure seekers from all over the world. Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the fascinating stories behind everyday coins that could turn out to be worth a fortune. You know that satisfying feeling of finding spare change in your pocket or couch? Well, what if I told you that one of those nickels, yes, a simple 5-cent coin, could actually be worth thousands of dollars? Today, we're zooming in on a very specific coin. It's small, silver-colored, and most people wouldn't give it a second glance. But this is no ordinary nickel. We're talking about the United States of America 5-cent coin from the year 2015. That's right, just a few years ago, this coin was minted and distributed across the country like millions of others. But hidden among the countless coins produced that year are a select few that are now incredibly valuable. And if you stick around till the end, you'll find out just how much this 2015 nickel could be worth if you happen to have the right one in your collection. Now let's get into the details of this mysterious coin and why collectors are going crazy for it. First, let's talk about the background. The 5-cent coin, also known as the nickel, has been a key part of American currency for more than 150 years. The design has evolved over time, from the shield nickel in the 1800s to the beloved Buffalo nickel and eventually to the Jefferson nickel, which most of us are familiar with today. The Jefferson nickel has been the standard since 1938, and though the basic design remains, subtle changes, mint marks, and even errors have made certain versions extremely rare and valuable. In 2015, the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins at different mint locations, including Philadelphia and Denver. At first glance, the 2015 nickel doesn't seem particularly unique. On the obverse, you'll find the profile of Thomas Jefferson, 3rd President of the United States, with the word "Liberty" in his own handwriting just beside him. The date 2015 is clearly visible, and if you look closely, you'll spot the mint mark indicating where the coin was made. Flip it over, and you'll see Monticello, Jefferson's famous home in Virginia, beautifully detailed and centered. So what makes this ordinary-looking coin potentially extraordinary? Well, here's where things get really interesting. Even though millions were minted, not all 2015 nickels are created equal. Some rare versions contain minting errors that occurred during production. These errors are what collectors dream of finding. We're talking about things like double dies, off-center strikes, die clashes, and misaligned mint marks. These flaws often go unnoticed when coins are first released, but to trained eyes and experienced collectors, they are golden tickets. One particular version of the 2015 5-cent coin has been making waves in the numismatic world due to an extremely rare and specific error. Some of these coins display a dramatic double die on the reverse side, where the image of Monticello appears slightly shifted or ghosted, creating a doubling effect. These coins are not just rare, they're almost one of a kind. The U.S. Mint has quality controls in place, but once in a while, these fascinating anomalies slip through the cracks and into circulation. Beyond errors, condition plays a massive role in a coin's value. Coins that are in uncirculated or mint state condition, free from scratches, wear, and damage, can be worth significantly more than their circulated counterparts. Imagine holding a nickel that was minted in 2015 but looks like it was made yesterday: flawless edges, brilliant luster, and every tiny detail perfectly preserved. That kind of quality, combined with a rare minting error, is what turns an everyday coin into a collector's dream. So, you might be wondering, how do I know if my 2015 nickel is valuable? The first thing you should do is check for mint marks. Look just below the date on the coin's obverse side. A P stands for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and an S for San Francisco. Coins from San Francisco, especially proof coins, are more limited in quantity and can fetch higher prices. Then, look for any unusual features, doubling of text or images, misalignments, or any irregularities in the design. Next, assess the condition of the coin. Even without an error, coins in exceptional condition can be worth more than face value. You might want to consider having your coin professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. These organizations evaluate coins and assign them a grade, which plays a huge part in determining their market value. And here's another tip: keep an eye on auction sites and coin shows. Rare coins often show up in unexpected places. You might see a coin just like yours selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The coin market is dynamic, and prices can climb quickly, especially when a rare variety becomes more widely known. Now, let's talk about some real-world examples. In recent years, collectors have paid serious money for 2015 nickels with verified mint errors. A few of these coins have gone through professional grading and sold at auction houses for jaw-dropping prices. These aren't just rare finds, they're investment pieces. Serious collectors are always looking to add these kinds of gems to their collections, and now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. If you are lucky enough to have one of these rare 2015 United States 5-cent coins, especially one with a clear and dramatic error, and if it's in near-perfect uncirculated condition, your coin could be worth as much as $54,000, yes, you heard that right. A simple 5-cent coin from less than a decade ago, hiding in plain sight, could be worth more than an entire year's salary. That's the thrill of coin collecting. It's like treasure hunting, but the treasure might already be in your pocket. So go ahead, check your change jars, dig through that forgotten drawer, or take a second look at that nickel you almost spent at the store. Who knows? You might just be holding a small piece of modern American history, and a serious fortune. What if I told you that right now, tucked away in a jar of spare change, resting at the bottom of an old drawer, or even sitting silently in your wallet, could be a coin worth a small fortune? That's right, a coin that most people use without a second thought could actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Well, you're about to find out why that ordinary-looking nickel might be hiding an extraordinary secret. Welcome to another fascinating journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're turning the spotlight on a coin that millions of Americans have touched, spent, or pocketed without a second glance, the United States 5-cent coin from the year 2010. It's small, it's silver-toned, and it's often taken for granted. But today, we're going to crack open the mystery and unlock the hidden value inside this unassuming piece of American currency. Now, let's rewind for a moment. The 5-cent coin, often referred to simply as a nickel, has been a part of the American coin system since 1866. For decades, the nickel has carried the image of some of the most iconic symbols in U.S. history, from the early shield and Liberty head designs to the beloved Buffalo nickel and finally, the enduring Jefferson nickel. And it's this Jefferson design, featuring the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, that has become the most familiar and long-standing face of the nickel. By 2010, the U.S. Mint was still producing nickels with Jefferson's classic profile on the front, but with a more modern flair. His gaze is slightly forward-facing, more lifelike, with a handwritten style, Liberty, to his left, and the year, 2010, just below. Flip it over, and there's Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia, proudly displayed in fine architectural detail. The design might seem ordinary, even routine, but as you're about to discover, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Let's talk about the story behind the 2010 5-cent coin. This was a year of recovery for America, following the global economic downturn of 2008 and 2009. Millions of people were still reeling from job losses, housing crashes, and uncertain futures. In that climate, coins like the nickel represented more than pocket change, they represented every cent that counted. The U.S. Mint continued to produce coins in massive quantities during this time, but among the sea of nickels struck in 2010, a few stand out in a very big way. How, you might ask? Through rarity, condition, and most of all, error. Yes, coin errors are not mistakes for collectors, they're opportunities. They're what transform everyday coins into sought-after treasures. During the minting process, countless things can go wrong, dies can become misaligned, double strikes can occur, inscriptions can shift, and even the wrong metal can be used. And while the U.S. Mint does its best to catch these slip-ups, a few manage to escape into circulation. When they do, and when they're discovered years later, the value can skyrocket. Now here's where it gets exciting. The 2010 Jefferson nickel has a few notable error types that have captured the attention of serious collectors. Among these are off-center strikes, which result in Jefferson's portrait appearing pushed to one side, often cutting off parts of the design. Then there are die cracks, which look like jagged lightning bolts running across the coin's surface. Even more dramatic are double dies, where the lettering or Monticello's columns appear duplicated ever so slightly, as if the image were stamped twice. These flaws, while unintended, are what collectors live for, and it's not just about errors. Condition is key. Most coins go through heavy wear, jingles in pockets, slides across counters, tumbles in coin jars. But some are set aside immediately after minting and kept in pristine condition, known as mint state. These coins shine. They have crisp, clear details, strong luster, and zero signs of handling. A 2010 nickel in mint state with a verified error. That's a rare combination, and that's where the true value lies, but don't worry, you don't need to be an expert to spot one. If you've got a 2010 nickel lying around, take a closer look. Grab a magnifying glass or your phone's camera and zoom in. Look carefully at the Liberty inscription. Does it appear doubled or fuzzy? Check Jefferson's eye, the rim of the coin, and the details of Monticello. Any irregularities could be your golden ticket. And don't forget to check for mint marks, a tiny letter P, D, or S near the date that tells you whether the coin came from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Sometimes certain mint locations have quirks that others don't. That if you think you found something special, you'll want to get it authenticated and graded. Professional coin grading services like PCGS and NGC will examine your coin, assign it a grade, and verify any errors. Having that official certification makes all the difference when it comes time to sell or showcase your treasure. You might be wondering, does anyone really pay serious money for these coins? The answer is a resounding yes. Collectors all over the world are constantly searching for rare American coinage to add to their collections. Coins with certified errors or perfect mint condition grades can be sold at auctions, online marketplaces, and collector events for thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands. So, what does all this mean for the humble 2010 Jefferson nickel? Can it really be worth more than its 5-cent face value? Let's put it this way, if you happen to possess one of the extremely rare 2010 nickels with a dramatic mint error, say, a bold double die, a significant off-center strike, or a unique die clash, and it's in outstanding, uncirculated condition, then hold on tight, because that small coin in your hand, that 5-cent piece that most people would overlook, could be worth as much as $50,000. Yes, you heard that right. $50,000, all for a coin that you could have spent on a pack of gum or dropped into a parking meter. That's the magic of coin collecting. That's the thrill of discovery. And that's why you should never ignore the change rattling around in your pockets. Hidden treasure doesn't always come in golden chests. Sometimes, it comes in the form of a nickel. Have you ever looked at the spare change sitting in your car's cup holder, tossed onto the kitchen counter, or buried in your wallet and wondered if any of it might actually be worth more than what's stamped on it? Well, get ready. Because we're diving deep into a coin that looks like any other nickel at first glance, but carries a hidden value that has stunned collectors, surprised dealers, and even left everyday folks completely speechless. It's a little coin with a big story, and by the end of this video, you'll be racing to check your own coin stash to see if you've got one. That we're talking about the United States 5-cent coin minted in the year 2013. Yep, just a few years ago. Not ancient history. Not a Civil War era relic. This is a coin that's relatively new, modern, and still very much in circulation. Millions of people have handled it without even realizing what it could be worth. And if you've got one sitting somewhere in your home, this video might just change your life. Let's start with the basics. The nickel has been part of American pocket change for over 150 years. But in 2013, the familiar Jefferson nickel was still going strong. It features the forward-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, looking thoughtful, wise, and slightly to the right. His handwritten signature style, Liberty, is inscribed beside him, giving the design a personal and historic flair. Below that is the date, 2013, and just next to it, a small mint mark indicating where the coin was struck. On the reverse, we see Jefferson's iconic home, Monticello. The image is elegant, with beautiful architectural lines, all under the words E pluribus unum and above United States of America, and the denomination 5 cents. It all looks perfectly normal, right? But this is where the mystery starts to unfold. Because not every 2013 nickel is like the others. In fact, some of them contain flaws, mistakes made during the minting process, that make them incredibly rare. And in the world of numismatics, rare equals valuable. You see, the US Mint produces billions of coins every year. But even with their high-tech machinery and quality control systems, mistakes still happen. Dies wear out. Alignment slips. Strikes are doubled. And sometimes, the wrong planchet, the blank metal disc that becomes the coin, is used. These errors are like fingerprints. No two are exactly alike. And collectors absolutely love them because they're not just coins, they're stories, accidents frozen in time. In the case of the 2013 nickel, some of the most sought-after examples include coins with double die errors, where the image or lettering appears to have been stamped twice, slightly offset. Others have off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably to one side, sometimes cutting off parts of Jefferson's face or the Monticello building. Then there are die clashes, where images from the reverse and obverse sides bleed into each other. There are even examples of nickels struck on the wrong metal planchet, such as being mistakenly minted on a penny blank. That kind of error can make jaws drop, and wallets open, but it's not just errors that bring in the big bucks. Condition plays a massive role in a coin's value. Most coins get scuffed, scratched, and worn down from years of circulation. But once in a while, a coin escapes that fate. It might be snatched up fresh from a roll, placed into a collection, or stored away and never touched. These coins, known as mint state or uncirculated coins, can maintain their original shine and detail for decades. When one of these mint state coins also has a rare error. That's the kind of 1-2 punch collectors dream of. Now let's talk about grading. This is how coins are officially evaluated for condition. The grading scale goes from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS 70 is basically perfect, flawless under a magnifying glass. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin, especially when combined with a rare error. A 2013 nickel with a dramatic error and a high grade from an official grading service like PCGS or NGC. That's not just pocket change. That's a prize. So how do you know if you've got a valuable 2013 nickel in your possession? Start by examining it carefully. You don't need a fancy setup. Use a magnifying glass or the zoom on your smartphone camera. Look closely at the lettering. Is anything doubled or blurry? Check the edges. Does the design look off-center or uneven? Flip the coin and inspect both sides. Look at the details in Monticello's columns. Are there lines or marks that shouldn't be there? Compare it to other nickels if you can. Even the smallest irregularity could be a major clue. Also, pay attention to the mint mark. Coins from San Francisco, marked with an S, are usually proof coins, specially made for collectors and often struck with more detail and polish. While the majority of 2013 nickels were made in Philadelphia, P, and Denver, D, finding a proof coin or a rare variation from a specific mint can also boost value. If you find something unusual, don't rush to sell it right away. First, get it verified by a professional. A grading service will not only confirm whether your coin is genuine and what error it has, but also preserve it in a tamper-proof case with its grade clearly labeled. This certification increases the coin's legitimacy and potential selling price dramatically. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where things get really exciting. You might be thinking, okay, some people collect coins, but are they really paying big money for a 2013 nickel? The answer is yes. Collectors who specialize in modern era coins are willing to pay serious amounts for the right pieces. And when the coin has a combination of rarity, condition, and uniqueness, it enters a whole different league. There are verified reports of 2013 nickels with major errors, like bold double dies or coins struck on the wrong planchet, selling at auctions and private sales for astonishing amounts. These are not common finds, but they do exist. And they prove that even coins from recent years can be worth far more than you'd expect. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you are fortunate enough to own one of these elusive and extraordinary 2013 5-cent coins, especially one with a striking mint error and in exceptional uncirculated condition, your little nickel could be worth as much as $52,000. That's right. $52,000, all from a 5-cent coin that you might have passed over, spent at a vending machine, or left forgotten at the bottom of a drawer. The idea that such a small, modern coin could hold that kind of value is exactly what makes coin collecting so thrilling. So what are you waiting for? Go check your change. Dig into that old coin jar. Revisit that drawer you haven't opened in years. Because you never know, the next life-changing discovery could already be in your hands. Thanks so much for watching this deep dive into the surprising value of the 2013 Jefferson nickel. If you enjoyed this video and want to uncover more hidden coin treasures, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. There's a whole world of coin secrets waiting to be discovered, and who knows, the next big find could be yours.